Dean is dancing.
Yeah, I wanted to get there, but that way
you were trying to actually get around us.
Don't worry, we'll sort it out.
Anyway, we've polished off our plates from our Father's Day lunch. Absolutely delicious. Anna was a big fan. And also, you have a very strong palate. You could take all that spice.
I love that spice,
Nice,
yeah. It's really good.
You like hot food?
He's a bit of a wuss, really, isn't he?
Well, we knew that.
We did.
Don't worry, we're going to cool it down now with a Peppermint Crunch fridge tart. Got to choose my words very carefully before the South Africans kill me. All right, let me explain. In South Africa, many moons ago, when I was a youngster, there was a product came out as a cream substitute called Whip. It still exists to this day, but it's basically like Elmley.
Okay.
It's a cream replacement.
Okay.
And in the packet was this recipe for peppermint crisp fridge tart, and became a staple in South Africa. And every barbecue you went to, everybody made their version of a peppermint crisp fridge tart. So I've made it, but I've substituted with Irish ingredients because you can't get certain of the things here.
And is it still as popular today?
Still very much so. Anybody
Really?
any South African will tell you what a peppermint crisp fridge tart is all about.
Okay.
So basically what we do is I'm using oaties, which have got that lovely toasted oat flavour to it. And I've toasted some coconut, desiccated coconut, into a food processor. Now, again, you can use the whole packet. You can put less if you like. It's entirely up to you and how much you...
Enjoy
how
coconut.
thick you like the base, basically.
And how much crunch you want.
Correct. So in this case, I've used half a bag because half the packet I'm going to use as the base and the other half is as the center filling. Now, you could put 3 layers if you like. It's entirely up to you.
Okay.
So all I've done is I've prepped that up, and then with some softened butter, 65 grams, just mixed in half of that and then pressed it down in the base of a glass dish.
And that's enough, just 65 grams to make it stick?
Plenty. Yeah, you don't want it too thick. If you put it in the fridge, it goes solid and you can't get the thing out again.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Whip, I've got 2 tubs of the Elmley instead, and I've whipped that up. I also then have caramel concentrated milk. It's cooked condensed milk. Now, I wouldn't advise you doing it at home unless you know what you're doing, because otherwise you'll paint the ceiling with it, all right? But you can buy this in the shops. It's a slightly bit more expensive, about 10 cents a tin. It's well worth having. And all we do is we put it in
Caramel concentrate, is
yes,
it?
known in South Africa as caramel treat. The same principle. It's just cooked condensed milk. It goes into caramel when you boil it.
Lovely.
Oh, I see,
But if you just be careful with it. So then we whip that up, and then I have a sachet of jelly. Now, you have your tablets in Ireland. We use jelly crystals. So same principle, just put a little less water in because there's more gelatin in these. And melt it in some hot water, 125 mils, half a cup, and just let it come to room temperature because you don't want it too hot.
What flavour did you choose?
I'm using lemon. You can use green gage or lime as well. It cuts the sweetness of the dish slightly. And we're just going to mix that through.
Something
nice
very
and
retro
gentle.
about this, isn't it? With the jelly.
Yeah, harking back to Dean's
Very
youth.
Mint
60s,
and
70s.
chocolate.
Yes, there you go. All right, so in the cream, while that's going, I'm going to add a teaspoon of peppermint essence, again available in...
And is that quite strong?
It
so
is
only
quite strong. A teaspoon is absolutely plenty. Now, to substitute the peppermint crisp fridge tart, I actually had to go through about 6 different shops to finally find something that will actually work. The others have fillings on the inside which are soft. The Lily O'Brien's Peppermint Crunch that they have has little pieces, flakes of peppermint in it, like what are those?
Like
a rock candy, that hard rock candy. And you just grate that up, nice and fine.
And is it a dark chocolate?
It is a dark chocolate, but I mean, it's perfectly fine for the recipe. So I'm putting half of that into the mixture. The rest is going to go on the topping.
So did you throw that in a food processor, the chocolate?
I grated it.
Oh, you just grated it
Yeah,
down.
just stick it, put it in the deep freeze for a little while, get it nice and hard. Use it with a cloth, and then off you go.
Wow.
So you're not holding
Very
on
finely
to...
grated, yeah. I think it will.
Well, it doesn't take that long. Just do it nice and fast. In goes our caramel.
These ingredients are just divine.
Yes, they're very decadent. It tastes very light, but it's very high in calories.
Yeah, we're not going to mention a calorie content here.
It's Father's Day.
Treating the dad.
Excuse.
Exactly. So a good mix through of those.
I don't think we've ever actually cooked with peppermint in 3 years here.
No, and it's so lovely, the combination of mint and chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah, and so refreshing.
Are you a mint arrow girl?
Yeah, I'd love a mint arrow, do you?
Yeah. Well, that's the other ingredient that we have is the mint arrow. Mint arrow goes on top. That will give you the green.
Okay, we're jumping the gun here, Dean.
No problem, no worries. So, Our first layer goes down, like so. Let me just flatten that out a little bit.
And that's got the jelly and everything in it.
This has got the jelly already in it. This will take about 4 hours to set. You can leave it overnight as well if you want.
So this is a no-bake cake.
This is a no-bake, no fuss, no easy-to-do cake. Right. Good
So
thing I
is
know
this
my
the South
cooking back to
African
front at this stage,
equivalent
isn't it?
of the humble chocolate biscuit cake that we all know how to make?
To some degree, yes. This is the South African version of
posher,
it.
this one.
I'm going to put that just with a spoon on the middle layer, like so. Very nice.
So you're layering it up. And how many layers would you ideally do?
It's entirely up to you. I just like 2. I want more of the filling. I don't want the crisp in between. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's entirely up to you. If you like more, you can
And
even
could you
put it
do
on
this
top.
in individual servings?
Absolutely.
As well?
They're very nicely presented in those little like martini glasses.
Yes.
That work
Lovely.
very nicely in it. So out goes the
So
filling.
it's not going to be solid the way it would be more like a tiramisu texture, would it?
Light, fluffy, exactly. The gelatine is just going to help set it and pull it together. It's not going to be like a jelly as such. It's more like a mousse, like a set mousse.
Okay.
So that then goes on our top layer,
Okay.
like so. I have people texting me already for the recipe. It is online. I'm going to show
We'll
you.
put it up on our Facebook and on the website and all that
And
stuff as
then
well, because there's a lot of ingredients involved in both dishes you've done today, Dean.
Yes. That is correct.
What's that now? Grated.
This is the same chocolate again.
Okay.
We're just putting
The
it
other
on
half.
top. Correct.
My lord.
Oh, funny, you popped by.
Well, I
And
didn't
the
really-
last pièce
but
de
it's-
resistance is our, if I can get it out of here, it's
here's the
sitting
arrow.
nice, the arrow. Our little-
Just for that lovely
gives
colour.
you that nice green colour on top. Now, we would have grated our peppermint crisp fridge, at least the peppermint crisp on top of this, but since we don't, we're substituting it.
Simon, this wouldn't have been your ideal dessert, but do you think you might be
No, listen,
convinced?
I'm watching them cooking it, and I'm just.
And that's it.
So into the fridge for overnight, ideally.
And there goes the man with it
Look,
now.
Finished
that.
product.
That is, and would you? Is it filling?
I'll
It is
tell you
very-
now.
that's big enough portion. Bit of ice cream. I did bring ice cream, but unfortunately
I'd
it
say
doesn't
that's
travel
plenty.
well from Athlone.
Poor thing.
Even on ice, it doesn't travel well.
What's the
from
verdict,
Athlone.
Si?
Oh,
Is it incredible?
good, isn't it?
I'm
horrible.
itching to get stuck in.
Will I start serving
Fabulous
it?
for barbecue. We've got great weather coming
I
again.
love
can
you,
assure
Dina.
Very early, isn't it, to be eating something so sweet?
No,
Not really.
it's
No,
not.
it's actually not overly sweet, believe it or not. You
not,
can
no.
make it as sweet as you like. I made the recipe the other day and I used 2 tins of caramel and I found it a little bit
Have a
sweet.
small spoon.
Bit too
So
sweet.
we changed the recipe slightly to get
Well,
it
look, don't
right.
forget, all of Dean's recipes are up on our website, or of course you can call into the Radisson Blue in Athlone to try everything there for yourself and say hi to Dean. Thank
Very
you
good.
so much, sir.
Thank you, Dean.
Only
A
a
lot of work
pleasure.
this morning. Thank you.
Huge amount.